Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make Dalgona candy. I'll be using half of the measurements because I do have a lot of people in my household, so I'm just making half a batch. So add 1/2 cup of granulated sugar and 1/4 cup of water. The ratio of sugar to water is 2 to 1. You could also use brown sugar or honey. But I'm using granulated sugar for this recipe. This is a popular Korean street food that you may have seen on social media. Super easy to make and you only need 2 ingredients. Let's get started. I'm using a piping bag to make sure that they're all even. You can get creative with this and use whatever toppings you'd like. I'm using sprinkles and edible glitter. For the green tea Dalgona, I'm gonna be using matcha powder, and for the chocolate Dalgona, I'm gonna be using cocoa powder. You can just use a spoon if you don't have a piping bag. We microwave it in 30-second increments and stir in between each one until it's completely melted and smooth. Now we're going to dip the Dalgona in the chocolate and let it drip. Then we're going to roll it in the cocoa powder. Once it's coated, we place it on a piece of parchment paper and sprinkle on some more cocoa powder. We repeat this with the other one. And then we move on to the green tea Dalgona. Now we let this sit at room temperature, and we wait for it to dry and harden. This will take about 30 minutes to an hour. You'll know that it's ready when it's completely hard and does unstick to your fingers. First, grab yourself a large bowl like this. Now we cook this over medium heat and stir constantly until the sugar is fully dissolved. Once all the sugar has dissolved, we're going to turn this off and set it aside to cool down a little bit. We roll it in the matcha powder, and then we place it on the parchment paper. Bye! And lastly, we're going to sprinkle on some edible glitter. Here's the finished product. It looks so good. If you don't have an ice cube tray, you could use a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. We're going to take a spoon and start mixing it in one direction. We take our spatula and push it towards the middle of the bowl and lift upwards with the mixture. This will help the mixture become fluffy again, and it'll also help incorporate any sugar that has undissolved yet. You'll know that the mixture is ready when it looks like this, and it passes the poke test. The poke test is when you poke the mixture and the hole remains. We're going to continue mixing until it becomes pale and fluffy. The more you mix, the fluffier it'll become. You can see it starting to pull away from the sides of the bowl. Once it starts pulling away from the sides of the bowl, we're going to stop mixing. I highly recommend using some sort of silicone or parchment paper because the candy will stick if you're using regular metal trays. We're going to set these to the side for now. While that's cooling down, we're going to start preparing our molds. So I have 2 silicone ice cube trays, right? So our sugar mixture is cooled down and it should look like this. You'll notice that the mixture will kind of deflate after you stop mixing. That's okay. Now we're going to pour the mixture onto our prepared trays and spread it out. Once it's all dried up, we're going to take it out of the mold and we're going to start decorating. So to do this, we're going to melt some chocolate chips in the microwave. We follow the same steps, except we be using matcha powder instead of cocoa powder. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.